What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to another vlog instead of doing, well, that's actually a video, but I don't know where that intro came from. Welcome back to another video, guys, and today is another one of those videos that I hate making because, well, it's broken again. Every time I seem to do something with this truck, something else seems to break. I mean, it is a high mileage vehicle. It's 221,000 miles almost. So it's going to run into little things here and there, but this time it might be kind of major. A lot of you guys don't remember, I talked about a few weeks back that it broke down in the emission station. It refused to start after it got a full tank of gas. It did it again yesterday. It wasn't filled up and it wouldn't start the first try, and I actually had to put my foot all the way down on the gas just to get it to even start yesterday, and I was leaving the gas station from getting gas with this thing. It's full tank, of course, but I made it home. It's been fine ever since. It started up every single time. It's very odd because we replaced the crank position sensor last time because that's what we thought the problem was. This time we don't know what's going on. We could think it's either the cam sensor, it could be the fuel pump, it could be the kill switch in the glove box freaking out. It could be one of those things. And it only seems to do this after getting a full tank of gas. So if any of you guys in the Ford community or even just the sport track community know about this stuff, please help me out because I have no clue what the heck I'm doing, because it just keeps doing this every time I get a full tank and it's kind of annoying. But that's kind of the whole purpose of today's video, is this thing being so problematic, and I've been asked quite a few times on why I've kept it despite it being such a problematic vehicle. So that's kind of the point of today's video, and I'm also going to be doing some taking care of little things. I'm going to try to wash it later. It's kind of cold, so I don't know for sure if I'll get to that, but I'm going to fix my headlights because my left headlight, for whatever odd reason, is aimed exceedingly high, and I think my dad may have nudged it when we took it out to fix a fuse that we messed up in it because we thought the bulb had died, and I was going to convert to LEDs that day. But instead of doing that, we decided just to find out it was the fuse, and we redid the fuse, so now my left headlight works. So the main question behind today's video is, being this truck being so problematic, why have I kept it? And the reason for that is, well, I mean, I don't have a job, in case you guys don't know. I don't have a day job. I go to school and then I go home. That's literally, I go to school, I go home, edit videos and upload them. That's kind of my life. I mean, it allows me to have a really good social life. You know, I hang out with my friends a lot, but it doesn't really help out when I need to do something with this thing and I can't afford it, because basically what I do is, me and my parents made a deal with each other back when I was 15, 16 years old, that if I went and picked up my brother and sister, they'd pay for my insurance and gas. The only thing I'd have to do with mods, which besides the wheels, I've paid for everything else through that method, because basically it was kind of like an allowance system, but instead of being an allowance, I was paid around the house by doing chores, and I do those chores, I get paid, I can spend on whatever I want, instead of, you know, getting a set allowance like I was when I was 10 or 11, where I'd have to save up for months and months just to buy one copy of Pokemon Diamond, which I didn't actually buy. I actually got that as a Christmas gift, in case you're wondering. But that's kind of the thing I do now. I don't have like a typical job. It's still a job of sorts, but it's not a typical job where you have to pay taxes or you get a set weekly wage. In fact, I don't get paid very often, so that's why there's not really a lot of mods on this thing, and there's been a lot of things I've wanted to do that I haven't been able to just yet. But that'll all be dealt with here in the near future. Hopefully Christmas will be a good one for me this year, because I've got a lot of cool stuff that I wanted to get done on that list. One of which is going to be drastic if I can get it, and it's going to help me out a lot. If it doesn't make the truck not start, because I think that it might be two things that might be causing. I think the fuel pump's is on its way out, and I think the OBD2 port is making the computer trip, because part of it was the second time it acted up on the emissions day was when we hooked up to the emission system, and we think the OBD2 port tripped the computer and made it go, oh crap, what am I doing? And it just wouldn't start the truck. So the one thing I'm looking at that I really want for Christmas, that I've begged my parents for repeatedly, it's gonna involve the OBD2 port quite a bit to even do what it's wanting to do. So there's a slight chance my truck might not even start after I do this. Hopefully not, because I know how to do it now. I just gotta push it a few feet, because that's exactly what happened at the emission station. We pushed it, it started, and it was all fine and dandy. Not even the mechanic knew what was wrong with this thing. We had the mechanic come in and check it out, and he even said he couldn't even figure out what was wrong with it. So it's an anomaly, it really is, and I don't know what's wrong with it. But back to the main question of why I kept it, of why I have kept it, despite how many times it's broken down, I mean, the last 2 years. Well, I mean, besides the fact that I don't have a job and I can't afford to replace this car, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes I can't talk about on camera. That's personal stuff that's also holding me back from getting rid of this thing. And plus, I just have an attachment to this thing. It's been a really good vehicle besides all the time it's broken down. It's been very useful. You know, the truck bed helps us out a lot in things. It actually was the primary vehicle we used to move when we moved here to this house a few months back, in case you guys don't remember. That's right, the Sport Track hauled more than both the Grand Caravan and the Mustang combined. No, and I mean, the only vehicle it didn't haul more than was our moving truck, and that, you know, it's built to move stuff. So obviously this thing put in its good work, and it's really actually a good truck. Just people don't value it that way, which is kind of bothersome. If I can, I'll find a picture and put it up on screen from when we moved. Disregard if I find a picture, the crappy 16-inch rims. Those are long gone, as you can tell. And speaking of rim setups, I've actually been debating for a little while. If I ever get the money saved up, I kind of want to replace the motives. The motive wheels are nice, but we really got screwed over on them. Not going to go entirely in the depth on all that stuff, but I did some research, and the price was heavily inflated what we paid for versus what these things are actually worth. So I really am upset about that. I'm not going to go into too much detail in that video, or in this video about that. If anything happens, I'll make a full-fledged video about it, but that's also behind the scenes stuff I'm not going to talk about. So but when it comes down to the wheels, I've been seeing on a few trucks lately, specifically a Ranger on YouTube on Derek Band Productions channel that kind of hid in the background in one video. It had Rovos Cape Towns on it, and I absolutely loved it, because I was like, that's a truck with Mustang wheels. And I was like, wait, I know one of those. Motives are actually typically advertised on your Challengers and on your Mustangs. So being the only truck in the Motives community that has the set is kind of funny, and I really like it. But I'm not quite sure. I'm probably going to stick with the motives. I like the motives a lot. I don't hate the wheels whatsoever. It's just I was unhappy with what happened and how much over I got charged for these dang things. So, or I should say my parents, because it was a graduation gift. So I felt bad for them and all that stuff, and it was irritating. So again, that's all behind the scenes stuff. I'm done with that topic for right now. But, I mean, the attachment I had to this vehicle, it means a lot more to me than replacing it. At times, as much as I hate putting money into this thing to just keep it running, and I'd much rather use that money to modify it and make it better, you know, I put up with it. I put up with having to fix it every so often to maintain it. Because it is a 2003 with 221,000 miles. It's going to break down quite frequently. And it's as irritating as it is, I kind of have to put up with it, because, like I said, I can't go spend $6,000, $7,000 on a car right now. I have to wait until I can afford something like that. You know, I do plan on getting a day job. In fact, I was actually going to talk to my uncle, Lamar. He runs a gutter shop, and I was going to talk to him about getting a sort of a day job to help fund future projects. And there's two things I've got in mind, one being a pit bike. I've really wanted a dirt bike of some sort for years now, and I've wanted a four-wheeler and all that stuff. But the problem is I don't want to have to invest in a trailer and learn how to tow and all that stuff to pull a moderate-sized four-wheeler. And I don't like the idea. I mean, this thing has pulled four-wheelers before, this specific truck. The previous owner took this thing on trails all the time. Like I've said in the past, he used it for a ton of different purposes. And that's kind of that. But I don't want to have to spend, you know, the money on getting a bed extender or a trailer to kind of make this truck tow, something like that. So I think a pit bike would be better because, one, they're very inexpensive. Two, they're easy to find parts for. They're easy to fix, easy to modify. And three, because they're small and I can fit them in the back of this truck. I mean, a 70cc pit bike probably will not take much space up in here. It's kind of small, like I've said in the past, in the why should you buy 2001-2005 Sport Track video. But that's kind of that. And another project I have in mind, and I'm gonna really fight to get it done while we're at this house, because my parents want me to wait for a few years until I get graduated to get my own place, but I'm very impatient. And if I can get enough money to do it, I'm gonna do it. Is I want to get a project car. I want to start with something that is running. I don't want to buy junk that doesn't start, because I quite frankly don't, unless I plan on motor swapping it down the road, which I don't. The specific car I have in mind, I don't want to have to fight to, you know, push it all over the place whenever we need to move the cars around. And in fact, what we're planning on doing is we're going to clean out the garage. As you can all see, we have a bunch of stuff next to the Kia over here. In case you guys don't know, if you're new to the channel, that car was mine at one point. It's not anymore. It's my dad's. It was his at first, and then he gave it to me, and then he took it back when I got this. So I get a lot of questions about that car because everyone likes it a lot more than this, it seems. We're going to clear out that part of the garage. Either the Explorer is going to start parking in there, or the Kia is going to go back in the garage, and we'll have space out here to fit 3 more cars, as according to our lease here while we're here. Is you have to have you can only have 4 cars in the driveway for residents, I guess, at one time with our lease. So we already have 2, and at one point we did have the full 4, because at one point neither the van or the Mustang, which isn't here right now, parked out here. So we did have that full the full 4 cars out here for a little while. That's been all resolved though. But if we can get the Kia back inside, we'll have space, because Liam Baum, my little brother, who's probably in there right now, is going to be learning how to drive soon. He's learning how to drive. He's actually driven already once, and he did pretty well actually, from what I hear. Besides him jokingly parking in 4 spots, which irritated me a little bit. I wasn't there for it though. He's going to be getting his own car. You know, I want to get a project car, so with that, we'd only have 3 cars outside. Now, I wouldn't exactly know how to set that up. I'd probably move the truck, have my project stored where the Kia sits right now, and have Liam probably park somewhere in this general area, either behind the van or behind the Mustang. And of course, I'll park here like always. That's kind of that though, what I've got in mind to do. I haven't really figured out exactly what I'm going to do yet. But now I'm going to move into the next part of this video, and which is going to be the final thing I want to do, which is take care of the little things. So I'm probably not going to wash it right now. I'm freezing out here. I'm pretty dumb wearing short sleeves, as you can kind of see with my arm being kind of red now in the cold. But I do have a jacked up headlight. It's kind of getting dark. The sun's setting because it's 5 o'clock, and in Georgia in the winter, the sun sets at 5 o'clock. And yeah, we're gonna fix my left headlight, because like I said earlier, my dad went to replace a fuse and the headlight got aimed up exceedingly high, and it got kind of annoying. So we're gonna fix that now, and then I'll probably end the video off there. This is actually suggested by a subscriber that wanted to see how to do this. I'm gonna figure it out real quick myself. I'm gonna do a quick Google search and figure this out, and then I'm gonna kind of walk through it in the video for him and for all of you guys that sport tracks, or even some older Fords actually share similar like mechanisms to adjust your headlights. And I'm gonna do that using the Kia's headlights as kind of a mirror, because that's actually how I test my headlights. Because if you can tell here in a second, as soon as I turn the lights on, they illuminate on the Kia. Well, my left one doesn't, but my right one does. So that's what I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna use the Kia as kind of my adjustment kind of gauge. So let me do a quick Google search, and we'll get right on. Okay, so I've figured this out, and the way to do it, so we have a 4mm socket here. It's the smallest socket that I have in my tool set. We're going to hook it up to my ratchet wrench, which isn't exactly great, and we're going to try to aim this headlight down a little bit. Probably not going to get it perfect. This is just really to show the process, if I can figure this out. But that's how you do it. So I'm going to set my phone somewhere and kind of try to videotape me doing this, as it's kind of annoying to try to do this one-handed. But yeah, so let's get on to that. Okay, so I decided in the long run I wasn't going to record me actually adjusting the headlight, as you guys probably wouldn't be able to tell. But here we are. We've kind of fixed it as much as I could. I figured it out. Basically, if you turn it right, it'll go down. If you turn it left, it'll go up. So that's kind of the thing to remember. I think I may have ended it on a little too far. I haven't really figured it out yet, but it's illuminating pretty nicely. Like I said, since it's not entirely like extremely dark yet, I'm using the Kia as my gauge until it gets a little darker. I'll probably come out here and fix everything up a little bit more. But anyway, guys, that'll do it for today's video. I'm going to be doing a video soon on repairing this guy. If you guys don't know, this is my Spec D cold air intake. It's giving me issues, and part of it was my dad told me that this would seal perfectly fine, and it seals. It does seal, but it won't hold itself in very well. So I'm going to get that fixed very soon. I've got some ideas, some other people I know that will help me do that. The MAF is going to stay where it is. I'm going to get this all figured out and hopefully be able to have my intake working right soon. Or that, I'm just going to buy a new filter and just say screw it. But that's kind of that. I'm going to do a whole video talking about intakes with this truck, because it is kind of hard, because you don't really find many K&N options for this specific model anymore that aren't over $400, because I'm not paying $500 for some tubing. This gets the job done. It does a pretty good job at being a cold air intake. It has actually lowered my intake temperatures quite a bit, I think, and you know, it's giving me a bit of extra torque. But part of the thing, like I said, that I want for Christmas, that's gonna be really expensive, and hopefully it happens, because that's going to be really nice, is going to help get more power out of this thing with that intake. So that's kind of the thing I'm going with right now. So that's kind of the whole story behind the intake thing, is it just needs to be fixed because the filter doesn't fit. So it's kind of annoying. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Go follow me on all my social medias if you haven't already, especially my Instagram and Twitter. Those are the two I upload the most on, and more specifically Twitter. I post more on Twitter than I do Instagram. I barely ever post on Instagram now, but it's my primary. But Twitter is my primary social media. If you haven't already followed me, it's at Roast Tires YT. I believe the only underscore is under Roast, as it is on the YouTube channel's name. So if you haven't already, go follow me on there. I'm surprisingly not even a half the followers on Twitter as I am on my YouTube channel. So if you guys have a Twitter account, go and follow me. You get behind the scenes access to every single video I ever upload, and everything like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you guys watching this, and I will see you guys on Saturday. And I might be doing something cool on Sunday, so stay tuned for that. See you guys the next time.
We don't want drama, we just want commas. My team tryna eat, I'm thinking Benihana. Love or hate me, all that shit just made me stronger. We the new school, this the alma mater. We don't want drama, we don't want drama. We just want the commas, we just want the commas.